What's up, guys? It's Matt Jackson and Clay Smith, and we are the Wash Bros. Thanks for tuning in this Sunday, June 29th. This will be wrap up of quarter two, so Q2 of 2025. And this is going to be episode 21. And we thought what's more appropriate than to kind of wrap up the last quarter, talk about our wins, losses, talk about our growth. I know Clay's expanded his secondary truck and all that stuff in this quarter and had a huge month this quarter or this time as well. So a lot of stuff's been happening for us both, and I think this will be a good recap episode. That way, you guys know how we track for the year. And Q2 for me, and probably for Clay too, is the most important quarter because it's the spring season, and this is kind of the season where we get what we can and we move the needle as much as possible. So we'll kick this thing off, and I'll throw it over to you, Clay. So.
Always love starting it off. Yeah, great. Awesome. It's always cool to be able to actually talk about us instead of trying to kind of teach and talk about other things. It's always cool to talk about the things that we're going through and the things that we're doing, the things that we're learning, and things that we have just done. So this is present time. It's June 2025. We're getting ready to go into July, and this has been my biggest month to date since I started back in 2021. So it was a great month. Well, we still got it one working day, but we're going to end around the 56 to $57,000 mark and do about 110 jobs. So if you're
Pretty
looking
solid.
to do that kind of volume, yeah. So if you're looking to do that kind of volume, we need to make sure that you're listening. Go back and start from the beginning. Listen to my journey. Listen to everything that I've been through. Listen to everything that I've done. Listen to everything that I've done even before we started the Wash Bros podcast, because I mean, the things that I did before we even started talking about it and documenting the things that we were doing is the things that put me where I'm at today. And it's not something that's going to happen tomorrow. You know, it took me almost 5 years to do a $60,000 month. And the guys, I know guys that have done this for 20 something years and they've never even done that kind of money. They don't do the kind of numbers that me and Matt do. They don't do the kind of volume that me and Matt do. And the biggest problem I see is ego. They're not willing to learn. They're stuck in their own ways. They're not ahead of the marketing. They're not following the marketing trends. They're stuck in the old marketing of door knocking or word of mouth. And word of mouth is great. I make a lot of money on word of mouth. I probably make $10,000 to $15,000 a month on word of mouth. But that's what a lot of guys are living off. You know, I couldn't live off 10 or 15 grand a month in today's time. It's hard to do that with inflation and everything else. You got to put yourself out there. You got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in your company, and you cannot give up. You cannot stop. You got to keep going. Consistently market your company. Get your brand out there. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how much money you've made, and like I've said time and time again, we can do a big number one time, but if you're not doing that consistently, then that's irrelevant.
100% agree there. And like Clay says, I'm not, or he's not knocking, door knocking, literally funny little joke there, but we're not knocking, door knocking, or postcards or other things like that. That generates and word of mouth, like that probably puts like $10,000 a month or something like that if you're doing it really, really well. But if you're trying to grow past that, you're trying to grow past the efforts of one person, you're going to have to use tools available to you. You're going to have to use scale, like whether it's your Google ads, your SEO work, Facebook ads, just like you're going to have to multiply yourself out, and you can't just rely on these kind of archaic forms of marketing. Nothing wrong. You can get work. If you want to do this part time, you can get work and fill your Saturday up, and you can do $1,000 a weekend and make money. Nothing against that. What we mean is, hey, if you're trying to grow and scale your business and to be a serious player in your market, this is what's required. And like Clay said just a minute ago, that resonated with me. If I took my foot off the gas, or if he took his foot off the gas, and we said, "Oh man, like I look at me, Mister Last Year, like I did all this number, or I did this," I like if our identity is like, "Oh, look at how great we are," and we never keep pedaling forward and evolving and growing humbly, then we're gonna get passed. And I think this year's taught a lot of people, a lot of these guys who've been in the industry for a long time, that you can't do that, because I've seen people who I've never seen online before start hustling online. I've seen people who've been in the game for 20 or 30 years, or supposedly 20 or 30 years. I've seen them hustling neighborhood groups that I've never seen before. So it's like, hey, the market is shifting where you have to constantly keep the pedal moving forward. You got to keep your brand fresh. You got to keep your business going forward. You got to evolve and keep it up. It's not just inflation, it's all this competition too. So like we are pushing extremely hard. Clay's pushing extremely hard, and we're able to grow. Clay's grown a ton this year, which is awesome and impressive. I'm mainly trying to maintain what I've been doing, but it's still a lot of effort. So if you guys are on the fence about, oh, I don't need to do this, or like I'm good in the area, like, hey, we both are pushing as hard as we possibly can. I'm staying fairly flat this year. Clay's grown a lot. So like it's hard for everybody. So like we just want to put our best foot forward, and what we talk about in the Wash Bros is how we continue that. So
Yeah, and then I mean another cool stat is, going to just thinking about me and Matt being in the same, me and you being in the same industry in the same market or whatnot. I mean, we're taking about 120 to $125,000 a month out of the market, or just between me and you, I mean, and that's what, 120 jobs. Is
yeah,
that is
so
that the numbers we're looking at?
I think say you do if you're doing 100 jobs and then I'm doing 100 something jobs. I think you got me beat on volume this year, but I had some commercial work that pulled me up. But I mean, like you're combined for both of us combined this year, we're for this month, we're probably taking $130,000 out of the market, and we're not in a huge metropolitan area, so that's a good chunk. And like think of all the owner operator people that are also in the space. Some guys may take 5 grand, some guys may take 10 grand, some guys may take 20 grand or 30 grand. Like there's a limited amount of pie here. So we have to do everything we possibly can to get as much as we can and focus on marketing and branding that sets us apart. Clay and I, same market. We're probably the top 3 phone calls to get a quote on Google or on Facebook. So we have to do what we can to separate ourselves so customers see us differently and choose us independently. If we're all trying to be generic and if we're all posting the same, look at me holding a yard sign with my company that says pressure washing and a number on it, and then just post that same picture every single day in all these groups, you're just going to be invisible. It's not doing anybody any good. So, um, Clay and I both figure out our lanes and we keep plowing forward. And I've been doing video stuff, and I'm really working on like kind of re keeping my brand fresh and putting new content out, new videos. And it's all about doing what your competitors aren't doing to set you apart. And I think Clay and I both we both exceed in similar ways, but we have our own spin on it, and that's why we're both successful in the same market.
Absolutely. And what you were going to say about the post or whatnot, and you've always talked about it. The post blind people become post blind. They get used to seeing the same thing all the time, and then eventually they just don't see you anymore. Like you said, the invisible thing. The biggest thing with me, especially with me and you being in the same market, like you said, we gotta make our own. We gotta put our own spin on it, and I think that's the coolest thing. Like we can take our business model, do the same exact things, and still put up just about the same numbers. So that is proof in the pudding that our business model works, and I think that's cool. That's something that we were able to try in the guinea pig, and we've kind of done the same things or whatnot. And I think it's cool that we're going to start being able to offer this to other people and start helping other businesses possibly get and start putting up the same numbers that we're doing with the branding and the going out and getting the work, helping other companies get them set up to where they need to be to put up the numbers that we're putting up. Because it's not all bull crap, it's a lot of the gurus will sell you on that stuff. It'll be oh, I did this much money that one month. Well, like I keep saying, if you could do one big number one time and it doesn't matter. But these are numbers that we are putting up consistently.
Yeah, over the years too. And we're able to do it with a lot of volume in residential too. I'm getting a little bit more into commercial work, which is great, but I'm also seeing like, hey, you can land a $50,000 job in one month. You can have reoccurring clients, and then you're like, cool. I put in the work. I got some relationships. I'm doing $100,000 a month on commercial, but it's a different beast than hey, go out and do this, and then bang out 100 residential jobs, or market yourself here or market yourself there. Like, yeah, it'd be great to say, hey, I have commercial clients and I'm doing 6 figures a month on commercial work, but not everybody's at that point. And doesn't mean you're not at that point or you won't ever get to that point, but it means that like usually that takes a lot of time. And we're trying to shortcut everybody's time by kind of copying the framework that Clay and I both use. And it's allowed us to get to this point after 5 years. So again, if we're talking these numbers and you think, oh my God, how could I ever do that? Like $30,000 a month, that's like massive. Like I'm proud of me. You should be proud of you, but just know that Clay was in the same boat as you, and he's literally doubling that this year with another truck. That's just showing you like, hey, look, what we're doing and showing up every day and marketing ourselves, and whether it be December or whether it be in June, like everything we're doing is pushing ourselves forward into this. And it's not just a one-off, because it's not just me doing something. It's Clay doing something as well. And we're both using the same framework. We're both doing like kind of the Wash Bros strategy, whatever we want to call it. But you can get so much value just from listening to this podcast, because it's pretty much just like how we talk to each other every single day. And like Clay's mentioning, we had some people reach out. We want to figure out a way to help, maybe some one-on-one, maybe coaching, maybe do like course, some type of blueprint or a guide. So other people, if you want more than just the podcast, we have an option for you for that. Because I mean, it's a massive ROI. Just Clay and I's friendships, like he's saying, like if you look at this month, like the friendship we have together has generated like $100,000 plus this month alone. So that wouldn't be possible if we didn't have our Wash Bros back and forth over the past 5 years.
Yeah, and the coolest thing about the both of us is each of our companies have data for those past 5 years. So we can pull up the data. We can show you, okay, this is where I was at during this stage, during the stage that you are currently in. This is where I was at, and this is what I did to get to where I am now. So we can literally pull up those years. We could say, okay, this is what I did, this is what I was doing, and this is where we want you to be.
Not just that, you can also listen to our previous podcast episodes. This podcast for us has almost been like having our own journal. And whether it's Clay jumping into this full time, because it was what, 2023, I think, when we first started doing this, that was pretty fresh in your career. And then it was when I
21.
started scaling, or 21, yeah, excuse me. And then I started scaling. So you kind of saw my journey, and now we're both kind of on the same level right here. And it just depends on what direction either of us want to go in. And it's pretty cool to see what we've been able to do in a short amount of time. And it's just not like a super great economy too. So I like, we're never knocking anybody if you're not putting up big numbers. It's extremely hard, and we're doing everything we possibly can and what we know to do. And that's why we're able to be successful. So if you guys aren't in the same boat, don't ever take offense to anything. Just say, hey, we're showing you that there's more out there. We're trying to inspire and encourage you guys, as opposed to brag and put you down. So like this, the mindset of me and Clay and the Wash Bros is very much like, hey, rising tides raise all ships. There's plenty of the pie. You just got to go and get it. And we're not trying to take each other's business. We're more trying to just, how can we both win together? And if you guys follow on and you listen and apply these things, hopefully your guys are able to do the same in your market.
Yeah, even though the market's changed, it's all the same stuff. We're still doing all the same things. And I truly believe if you follow the process that we follow every day, if you do the things that we do every single day, and you truly believe in the process, I think it could definitely take you a long way, especially in business. I mean, I remember when I was doing 15 to 20 grand a month, and I thought I was, doing some big things. But now looking, and I've done tripled that number in just a month. It's really crazy to know that the numbers that you can put up are really, it's infinity. You can put up as much as you want to. You can grow the thing as much as you want to. It's like feeding uh, I don't know. It's like it's just a big project. It's a big puzzle. It's fun.
Exactly. We're trying to provide you with the pieces that we use to put the puzzle together. And whether you want to say, hey, this is a lifestyle, this is what I want to do, you can apply to that. You can apply it to um, whenever you're, like your business, whether you're selling ceiling or you're selling another product, it all fits into the same puzzle. So, super cool stuff there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, business is business. But yeah, the coolest thing, well, we bought a new truck. We bought a skid from C3 Skids. I know I'm always shouting out Casey down there at C3, but if you want the cleanest skid out there, I've looked at everybody else's skids. I've looked at the prices. I've looked at everything that everybody has to offer. C3 Skids, hands down. If you're looking to purchase one for people that build them, hands down, we'll look at their skids. They're cleanest skids on the market. They do not take any shortcuts, I can assure you. I just bought my second one. We're probably going to buy a third one here in the next month or so. And that one's just going to be an upgrade of the one that I bought a few years back. But um, we bought the skid, bought the truck, and it immediately went to work. Scaling was actually easier than I thought. I mean, all the work just came. I'm not really sure where it come from. It was almost like a blessing. It was crazy. But so glad that I did it. We went from doing 30 to 40 grand with one truck to 60 grand this month, right at 50, right at 60, 57,000. I think is what we'll end the month. And almost, I think we'll be around the 110 to 113 on the job count. So very strong numbers, just the first number. I got Caden. I call him the wash baby because I'm the wash daddy. So Caden did a great job this month, hanging in there. Definitely a hot one for sure.
No doubt. And again, we're setting ourselves up just for replication. It's like, okay, we're not shooting to do $60,000 in 1 month. We're like, okay, this is the capacity that we can do with the current trucks and employees and lead flow and work we have. How do we replicate that? So it's very cool and exciting. Because like I know when you're doing 30 or $40,000 a month as an owner operator on your one truck, like it's really hard to manage that and the quotes and the leads. But when you start bringing on help, you have another truck, you can spread yourself out a little bit, and then you can grow your business. And that's kind of what Clay's been able to do. You can pull two trucks on jobs and make more money because you're more efficient than just one guy trying to hammer it out. And that's kind of what we'll do. Commercial work, I can pull resources, and we can bang out a ton of work because you got the guys that know how to. You get employees, they know how the systems works, they know how to clean. We're all using the same stuff, and then you multiply your efforts. You're going to be better than if you guys are in two different locations trying to race to finish different types of jobs. So like a lot of cool stuff. And I also noticed in my business when I started positioning like multiple trucks, I got bigger calls. I got bigger commercial work started to come to me. So it's like if you build it, they'll come. If you're posting online, hey, here's a yard sign of me holding up my kid. I'm a humble beginnings. You're going to attract that type of marketing. You're going to attract that type of customer who's going to say, oh, well, I want to give this guy a shot. I don't want to pay professional prices though. So as you grow and level up your business, you attract bigger opportunities. And I think that's the exciting thing that I found out with commercial this year. And that's also what Clay's finding out and will happen to him as he has like cruise. It's a different psychology. It's a different energy that you put out, and you really separate yourself from that $99 guy where everybody has the same copy paste story. And it's like, hey, look at me. This is my entrepreneurial journey, but they never get past that point. And the goal of the Wash Bros and the goal of everybody listening here is to get you past that point to be a professional, credible company where somebody Googles pressure washing in their area and you're one of the top guys and you're an authority in the space. And that's the entire thing. You can easily do, like Clay saying, like $15,000, $20,000 a month, do it on the side. Cool. But you want to establish yourself as a like top tier business in your area. And it's cool to see just in a short amount of time, Clay and I have been able to do that. So super exciting stuff. And I hope to hear stories and comments because like we'll get calls and stuff like that of people who have questions or who've grown and all that fun stuff with you guys. So just keep up the good work. If you're listening and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know what's going on, like just keep your head down, keep plowing forward. You're seeing the results of the last 5 years for Clay and I.
Yeah, and I know that we had our summer slump episode. Typically, July could be a little slower. Just make sure you stick with your processes, stick with the things that you're doing that you know work for sure. Stick with the things that you have learned from us on the Wash Bros podcast, and just keep plugging away because it can be difficult. That's another thing with the data that we have, the proven data that we have with the ebbs and flows of everything and the work, the consistencies of lead flow, and all that type of thing. Just make sure that you're not getting frustrated. You stick to the things that you know that work for you and your company and keep plugging along.
Yep. And it's about the process. It's not about the end result. So like fall in love with the process. I know it's cliche, but it's the truth. You show up every day and you do the same things. Those are your controllables. You can't control the economy. You can't control the weather. You can't control all the competition in the area, but you can't control what you're doing. So you may, and this is kind of what we've seen this year, you may have a day where you don't book anything. You may have a day where you book $6,000. It all blends out and evens out for us over the whole month and over the year. But in the weeds of the day to day, you can't allow yourself to go from too high to too low because it'll drive you crazy and it'll drive you nuts. Like Clay will have these bang out days and then I won't have anything and then I'll have days to catch up and then it's just kind of an ebb and flow process. And then you zoom out and you say, hey, at the end of Q2, like what we're talking about on this episode, we had a great quarter. But I can zoom in on certain days of a week here and there and be like, man, this sucks. The economy sucks. Like if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you're kind of losing control, just zoom out a little bit. Look at your numbers. If you have a CRM, break it down, say, hey, what do we do this quarter? What do we do this month? Like be be easy on yourself because it's a process and we show up every day. And just as in our January episodes, we are talking about posting and showing up and doing things that nobody else was thinking about. We're now seeing the results of all those actions. And so if you're late to the party and you started doing that in the spring, you'll probably have a good fall. And like Clay always says, what we're doing now is preparing ourselves for the winter, and what we're doing in the winter is preparing ourselves for this time next year. So the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. So get started.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that too because the things you're doing now are setting you up for the future. You know, the consistency. That's my favorite word. I say it every episode. The consistencies of everything you do eventually pay off, and that's just something that I learned a long time ago. It's almost like sports. The more that you practice your free throws and you sit there and you shoot that ball, the more balls that you shoot, the better off you're going to be, and it just pays off in the long run. I always like to use the sports analogies because I like to play sports. I like to do um, it's just what got me to be a disciplined person.
Yep. I played baseball growing up. I played college baseball. And it's again, like he says, sports are usually games of failure. And that's why we like it. So, like, if you hit 3 out of 10 times a batting average of 300, that's a Hall of Famer. If you're trying in business and you're trying 10 times and then you succeed 3 times, don't view that as you're failing. View that as, hey, look, I'm moving the needle forward. I'm moving the needle forward 1% every single day. And then you zoom out and you just say, wow, that was massive amount of improvement year over year. But if you say, oh, if I'm not going to land a huge commercial job or this guy undercut me or like, why, and then you quit, it doesn't do anybody any good. So, uh, again, positivity, keep plowing forward, keep up with the process. Consistency is everything. It's like I love Andy Elliott because he's so silly and he understands he's like a troll. I don't know if he means to be a troll, but he is like a troll online. But he gets a lot of attention. And he just says nobody wants to do the boring shit. And it's like you show up every day doing the boring shit, and that's what makes you successful. It's like everybody wants some
Yeah, another
strategic,
thing,
sexy plan.
right? And another thing, what you're saying about the failing and getting all down in the dumps and just giving up. I mean, that's not an option. The more I fail, the more I learn. Like if I didn't win a bid on a quote, I'm asking why I didn't win the bid. I'm asking, what was different from me than it was the other company. What was it? Price? Was it me? Was it the value that I didn't show in my company? Was it the short job description? So they just looked past me because I wasn't as um, I didn't seem as knowledgeable in my quote. I didn't explain the process on how we do things. So they just said, "Oh, this guy's it's not providing any value. He's not writing a description." Because they may pay more if they understand your quote over another guy's quote that just says pressure wash building. Well, if they don't
Exactly.
understand how you're pressure washing the building, they don't understand the processes you're going to take. They don't know that you're going to put caution signs up, caution tape up, cones up, making sure that you're protecting their tenants like at an apartment complex. Then what are we doing? Like you need to be providing value in the quote. Don't write a whole book with Chat GBT. Make it to where the customer can understand what you're trying to say. Don't do a robotic Chat GBT description of your pressure wash of your process. Make it feel personable.
Exactly right. And a good point there, too. I see this a lot. People are just copy pasting off of Chat GPT, and everybody and their mother sees this AI crap. And it's again, like we were talking about post blind. What was cool in AI is now not cool. So it's use it as a tool, but make sure you're humanizing it and putting your spin on it. And just as everything, you want to be different than everybody else. So if you see people copy pasting something, don't do that. Figure out your own spin, figure out your value add, and then you're just being your authentic self. And like Clay says, it's no such thing as failure if you get feedback from it. It's like that's telling you where you need to steer and what direction you need to go in. Because if you didn't win a bid because somebody undercut you, but if that person has 4 trucks and you're an owner operator guy with a subpar machine because you're new, you probably didn't deserve to win that bid. Don't complain about the guy cutting you, undercutting you because you think you should have raised your price and charged more. This is what the market bears. Figure out how he's able to do what he's able to do and say, is that the business model I want to pursue? If so, yes, learn. If not, that's not your customer. Not everybody's your customer. Figure out what works best with you and your business and go forward with the process, and you'll be successful wherever you want to land.
And another thing is, if you got time to be whining about a bid that you lost, then you're not busy enough. You need to work on yourself and your business a little more.
Exactly right. So yeah, we're at that 25-minute mark, Clay. You got any closing statements you want to have?
No, man. I think it's a good episode. Been a great year so far. Everything that I've done and you do, Matt. I mean, this is real stuff. This is the numbers we're talking are real. These are not anything that we're just making up. Like these are numbers we could show you. Be glad to share them with anybody who asks. And just let me know. I mean, we're not a guru trying to just sell you a product or anything, trying to help our industry. Just make sure that you follow our all of our pages, the Wash Bros podcast page on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. We got a private group. It's called the Wash Bros on Facebook. We share a lot of knowledge and stuff, real time life events. I know I've shared a couple of screenshots of text messages with a different couple of people that I've had, and just sharing some knowledge in there. It's provide some good value. So you can follow me, Clay Smith, on my personal page on Facebook. Follow Matthew Jackson, which is Matt, on his personal page. Follow my business, C3 Wash Pros LLC. You can see some work we do, some kind of the marketing we do. You can check us out on Google. We got over 300 Google reviews. Check out Matt the Driveway Guy, which is Matt's business. You can check him out on Facebook, all social media platforms, and he has over 500 Google reviews if you want to check him out on Google. We're real companies, real people, real business owners. We go through these things every day. We know exactly what you're going through, and we just want to help.
Exactly right. So feel free to comment, leave leave whatever question you guys may have on Facebook, engage. We can help spread the word, grow this thing. I'm just looking at our numbers and we've exceeded like 6,000 downloads overall, which is really cool, really awesome because it's not just a number. That's a guy like you or me who's pressure washing, whether they're trying to learn the business or they're just using it to listen, going to their jobs and getting encouragement. Like, don't let whatever is going on in the economy, in the world, your competition, slow you down. Keep the ball rolling forward because this is a great business, a great industry to be in. Clay and I are both kind of proof of it, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So if that's everything, I'll kick this thing off. I'll drop the outro, and then we hope everybody has a fantastic 4th of July and has some time to celebrate with their family. See you guys.
Peace.